Seltzer Time.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Seltzer Time podcast. The first one in person in a very long time! It's your boy Ricky, a.k.a. Dick Chuck, a.k.a. the man behind the can at Seltzer Time Official. Here, as always, with my conversation accomplice, the man with the hunch about Worcester, Travis.
What is crackin', Fizzle Fiends? Welcome back to another episode of the Seltzer Time podcast. And as always, we are stoked that you're here. And as you heard the man, we are live and in person. Well, everybody here has been double jabbed, and it is great to see people.
It's true.
And this week on the show, we are talking to the very lovely Julia Moriconi, owner of Mrs. Moriconi's Ice Cream, talking to us about sweet treats and delicious things. Julia.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
I just videoed that, so that's going on my Instagram.
Nice.
And I cut it as soon as you introduced me because I don't know. I couldn't even I tried to film myself.
You got a selfie in there. It looks good.
I hope it probably saw my eyebrow. I'm thinking anyway.
Hey.
I'm like your mom on Instagram. It's not. It's
My mom's
perfect.
not on Instagram, which is good
Neither
for
is
everybody.
mine. My mom has Instagram, but she can't remember the password. And I don't remember what it was either, which is for the best.
That's hard,
Passwords
man.
are difficult, man.
Passwords are hard. Aging is hard. That's all hard.
Happens.
So as you can clearly tell, we are all in the same room because we're talking over each other. There's no video lag. There's none of that bullshit to deal with.
Yeah.
So
No, we are. This
Julia,
is awesome.
Thank you so
This
much
is like so
for being our
social. This
first
is like
one.
the first really great social thing that I've done in so long.
Yeah, seriously.
Same. Yeah.
Besides selling a fuck ton of ice cream, but it's
You
okay.
do sell a fuck ton of ice cream, and let's start there because your ice cream is absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
What made you want to sell ice cream?
Probably when I went through pastry school, the dairy-based dessert portion of our training, I just did really, really well. And I had fun. I loved making cheese. I loved making yogurt. We loved making ice cream and anything that had to do with that. And the chef had mentioned, if you really want to take this to another level, Penn State has a great program, but they always have waiting lists, so get your name on it now. So, I went back, and of course, I get back to my apartment like midnight, so I'm wired. So I just started doing this. Oh, Penn State. So I put my name on the list like right then and there, and it took like 4 years for them to call. And when they called, I actually signed up for the wrong one. I signed up for like the manufacturer's program. I just wanted to learn about. I just wanted to do cute little fucking ice cream. And they're like, no, you're gonna make this shit. It's like you're gonna make it. You're gonna learn about sanitation, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Okay, here's my money. So that's kind
So you end up signing up for the wrong program.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And it set you up for the right future.
It did. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I am so happy because I had no idea that all the federal food laws were changing, soon.
Sure.
And so it was really important that I went there and I got all this training because now it's so much easier. I mean, everybody who's been making ice cream or anything with milk, dairy, cheese, they're freaked out. They're like, oh my God, now we have all these new standards. We have to, write everything down and have plans and whatever. And that's what we learned.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm glad I did it. But then it also meant, wow, I literally commuted from Worcester to Penn State like every other week for an entire academic year.
I thought you were going to say every day. I was like,
no, it was like every other. So we did these intensive little programs. But yeah, so and serendipitously, it was right when American Airlines started flying out of Worcester Airport. I live 205 seconds from the Worcester Airport. So I would fly, where do they fly to? They only fly from Worcester to Philly. Awesome, because Philly to State College. So that's how I literally went for the entire year.
that's so sick.
It was awesome. It was really great. So then I didn't have to drive 9.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been a little bitchy after that. I'd have been like, I don't care about protozoas. I'm done.
I barely care about protozoas now.
You should.
I don't know what a protozoa is.
Very sick.
It's just mostly I can't identify them.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, same. I think it's part of a plant, but I don't know.
No, it's a bad pathogen. But anyway, we'll just.
We are an anti-protozoa podcast.
Yeah, now officially anti-protozoa.
Yeah, we should not be protozoa. We are not.
We're not pro-protozoa?
We're contozoan or whatever. Not protozoa. Sorry. I don't know.
So, but this, just so everybody understands, because this is one of the things I find most fascinating about you and your story, that this isn't your first foray into anything even medically related. Like the ice cream career, this study, this is kind of like your second or third career.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was so young, I was 18 years old and I was working at the second busiest trauma center in the Chicagoland area. Whoa. So that working in the emergency room, that got me into emergency medical services, which got me into the fire service. So it was so at one point I literally was still working in the ER, working as a firefighter paramedic on the rig, and teaching paramedic school at the same time. So yes, I already have like my pre-med done at that point. I really kind of was going towards medical, and I was like, you know what? I have to be in the field. Like I can't be four walls and me are not good. So I have to be out there. I have to see people. I have to just, I need that. Everybody knows if they're not a cubicle person, you know, like people just can't work in an office. Yeah. You know, well, the hospital was awesome, but it's a great place to be from, not at.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you were a firefighter for years. You were an EMT.
I was a paramedic. Yeah. So paramedic, taught paramedic school. I did my pre-med, curriculum, in college while I was working. I went to college while I was working because I was young when I got into this, but I got bitten by the bug young, and my personality was just really good for it because I'm flawed. I'm definitely perfect.
I think you mispronounced badass bitch. Just putting that out there.
Well, awesome. But no, seriously, like I'm sure I'm going to piss somebody off on this podcast.
That's my job usually.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll help you. All right. Ricky, you and I together. We're stronger together.
Let's do this. Teaming up to aggravate.
So you were a firefighter and a paramedic for years, and then got hurt. Yeah. And at that point, that's when you made the decision.
Well, yeah, I got pretty damn sick, actually, is what I did. And, so I couldn't be in the field anymore. And when I got out of surgery, and it's just like, all right, everyone thinks that the natural progression is to go to be a dispatcher. I can't even begin to tell you how very wrong that is. I'm not going to get into the whole first responder stuff, but if you're in the field, a dispatcher has to be focused on something totally different. You don't want a field person working dispatch. People get killed that way, okay? So anyway.
Completely understand. We've had a dispatcher on the show, and it was very clear that it's two distinct
things. Yeah. So I actually started the UConn program in Homeland Security Leadership when that was right about the time I got diagnosed. I was very sick. I had a bunch of tumors that I got diagnosed with. I had surgery. I had 2 years of like therapy and like recovery. And it was, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, like I'm still, what do I want to be when I grow up? I'm like, I had the best job in the world, but I can't, I can't be on a truck, an engine, any kind of rig. And I thought, and I don't want to be living vicariously through anyone. That would be very painful. Yeah. So, well, what do I, and my mom had just passed away, and she left me, like, there was this very vintage trunk. I should show this to you guys sometimes. And it's recipes going back from my great-grandmother.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, on litho paper. I mean, we're talking like cocktail recipes, you name it. And I would go through that because we used to bake, my grandmother and I used to bake together, and I'm like, you know what? I was a firehouse cook for like 11 years. Maybe I'll go to culinary school. And I just decided I'm happiest when I bake. Yeah, sure. And so my poor husband, well, he was my boyfriend at the time. He's out gigging. He's a professional musician. He comes home. He's like 3.5 hours away. Does a wedding, drives 3.5 hours back. He comes home. I've done this Google search for like best pastry school in America. And I'm like, we're sitting in Hingham, Massachusetts. I'm like, honey, I think I want to move to New York City and study pastry for a year. Okay. He goes to bed. And in the morning, I poke him in the belly, and I'm like, no, really, honey, I have an appointment next week to go to the French Culinary Institute and do a whole working interview and whatever. He's like, okay, I'll drive you.
That's incredible.
Oh, poor John. He just has no, the ride that I have taken this man on in life.
Yeah, but at any point he could have asked to get off. I think he enjoys it. He's a roll with the punch kind of guy. He's a jazz musician. He's good at improvisation.
Blues.
Blues,
honey.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What am I?
He does jazz really, really well. He just enjoys blues
You're
and
absolutely right.
old school R&B and soul. He's got a lot of soul.
Hell
Now, I'm not
yeah.
kidding you. Like, look up Johnny Bluehorn, and that
Johnny
guy,
Bluehorn plays amazing
He
music.
can play a blue trumpet funkier than. I mean, yeah.
Now I just want to go see him play.
I know. I'll let you know when he's somewhere around.
Yeah, keep me posted. Well, yeah, now that things are like, happening.
Coming back to normal.
Slowly
It's been
happening.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's been stifling. It like stifles a musician's personality, and really it's like their outlet. So there's a psychological thing that happens, and it's just happening with everybody. So I'm hoping everybody has better mental health this year.
Yeah, that would
Agreed.
be ideal.
100% agree.
Eat ice cream, have better mental health too.
Great segue.
That's why I eat it all the time.
So you're ahead of the game, kid.
Yeah, it's medicine. I'm never every time I come home with 4 pints of ice cream, and Naomi's like, "Why do you do this to me?" And I'm just like, "It's medicine."
I'm going to make you an ice cream medical card that looks a lot like my cannabis medical card.
You have a kid? Let me see. Because I'm probably MGH put me in a medical marijuana study.
You should.
Yeah, because so from
That's cool.
like the illness that I had before, like the whole pain management.
Yeah.
So this is it, man. You look like that's a mugshot, dude.
It looks like a license.
They use the same
Oh, it's the
license.
same. Well, mugshot, same thing. Okay. So this is a
wow.
medical. I've never seen
Yeah,
one.
I've never
Ricky,
seen
you've
it.
never seen his dope card?
I
got it within the past year.
was gonna say, yeah, I think you got it during the pandemic. Right?
So did you guys not even see each other during the?
The only time we would ever see each other is if Travis either A, came to New Tradition,
Yeah.
or B, if we were like dropping off something with
We
each
would
other.
do, like swap
But we always
offs.
had masks on, and we'd just be outside of like
Yeah.
his house or my house or something.
It's weird.
Wild.
It
Yeah.
is.
So a couple months back, in the middle of this whole pandemic, you decided to come back and start slinging ice cream again. Figured people need it. They need to have the happiness.
I was negotiating a lease in February. Let's back that up. So after I finished all my stuff at Penn State, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. But I did go to, so I joined the National Ice Cream Retailers Association because they're a wonderful resource. I went to the largest pastry / gelato / chocolate exposition in the world in Rimini, Italy. It's called CEGEP. And I thought, man, if I start a business, I'm not going to be able to travel much. But I wanted to do that and hop over to Slovenia, right across the Adriatic Sea, to train on this piece of pastry equipment. More about that later. And so I kind of wanted to, do all this. So we went to Italy, went to Bologna. We saw like the whole February thing going on, like where they make all the really great ice cream ingredients, gelato stuff. And then I went to Rimini on a train, and then we went to Florence because when I was in culinary school, I was in pastry school, but culinary brought in this Italian butcher, Dario Cecchini, and he's great. He's he's just a very passionate man, but he demonstrated to us, how to pretty much butcher, a half a pig, snout to tail, like every bit of the pig is used so that the animal's life is not, taken in vain.
Yeah.
So he said, anybody comes to Tuscany, please come to my place. You're going to be my guest. Well, my husband and I went, holy mother of red meat hell. I mean, I am fat, okay? I could not eat everything this man. He put this, this is the Tuscan steak. And it was just this it was so big.
Like 20 ounces bigger?
20. Honey, no. It had a couple ribs on it. Okay?
Holy damn.
And I was just I'm like, man, and they char it right there. And there's some people in Worcester have actually gone to see him and they know what I'm talking about. Robbie from Birch Street, So seriously, but this guy was feeding us, and we're sitting at this long communal table, and there's these skinny people who are eating way more than me and my husband. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it, but it's every course was meat. And if you're not done with any meat, eat some more meat. I mean, they had a little cup like this, and they had a couple of carrot and celery sticks, and they passed it around. Oh, you want a vegetable? No, thanks. I got meat. Seriously. So we literally, did you ever eat your Thanksgiving full? But it was the most delicious red meat I've ever had in my life. So anyway, so we did that, and then we stayed in Florence for a couple of days, and it's John got sick, and then I got sick, and nothing's in English. They're all talking about an influenza pandemic or an epidemic of influenza, and I'm like, okay.
This is February.
This is January, honey. Oh yeah, This was the OG virus.
January 2020.
This was the original. This came from. I got Wuhan. Okay, it was me and Wuhan. We were buds. So yeah. So then I got sick, and it's like. I was worried about him, and then I'm like, man, I'm not feeling so great.
Wait, so you got...
We were sick. Oh, we were sick in Italy.
This is technically, just so everybody's clear, this is technically their honeymoon that they put off.
For 5 years.
For over 5 years, and they spent their entire honeymoon...
And we get coronavirus.
In fucking Italy?
So,
wait, what?
No.
What the heck?
So we leave, and then we spend a week in Slovenia, and I'm in bed one whole day. Then I got just well enough to go to my training that I was supposed to go to, and then we went through all this other stuff, and then we end up in London. We landed in London. This was the first news in English. I mean, even when I bring my computer or your phone and you hook up to Wi-Fi, I mean, everything is in Italian. And if you're trying to Google Translate some of this stuff, so I knew something was going on in China, but I didn't quite know, really what the gravity was it. Yeah. So the first day, we're like, woohoo, we're in London. And here we upgraded your suite and whatever, and there's champagne. And I'm like, yay. And then all of a sudden, God, it's hot in here. And I'm like, can they turn the air conditioning on? Or they turn the heat off? It's so hot. And then the next day I woke up, and I'm just like, the heat is so blaring in here. My husband's wearing a fleece jacket because we've got
the opposite sides.
Yes. No. So we went down for breakfast, and then I said I have to step outside. So our hotel, the Intercontinental, was on the south bank of the Thames River. I'm standing there, and I don't know how many knots of wind, but it was 40 degrees. It was super. It's the windiest part of London. And finally, at that point, was the moment that I didn't feel like I was breathing in superheated air. Having been a firefighter, I have breathed in superheat. I can tell you what it feels like. And I was finally getting this huge wind going, into me, and I'm like, oh God. The concierge is just like, you have to get her to a hospital. So, so we go upstairs, and they sent somebody up, and then it's a weird thing in London how you have to call, is it 333?
It's NHS.
Yeah. So, but with that said, I got wonderful care.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they wanted me to go to...
Is it plus 44 that you have to call out?
It's 333. Instead of 911, I think they have 999, and then this was 333.
That's the country code.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it was, they have to screen you. And it was, how, the British are just so proper and nothing rattles them. And she's asking me about all my symptoms. And then she's, well, based on what you said, you need to get to the hospital immediately. I'm just like, okay.
Immediately.
So anyway, so what do? I take a cab, this poor cab driver, right? So we're sitting in the waiting room at the hospital when finally...
You had coronavirus and they let you take a cab?
I had no idea. I was not...
Shit.
They were like, she said, we're going to call you an ambulance. And I'm like... Bitch, no. I'm like, I worked for 20 plus years as a paramedic. The hell if I'm coming to London to ride in a fucking ambulance. I am not going to be a bumpity. No, I want to go on my truck. I'll die first before I have somebody stick me with it. No, I don't know what's going on in another country. I will drag my carcass to the hospital. Thank you. So I got the best hospital I can go to for NHS, right? It's not private, whatever. But I did. I asked the concierge, and I'm just like, I slip him $20 American. I'm like, do I go to Queen Elizabeth's hospital? He goes, no, you go to Guy's hospital. I'm like, $10 more. I'm like, is there anything better? He says, no, I'll get you a cab now. So I was like, tipping.
Thank you.
I tip, and I'm like, please, this is a matter of clearly life or death. So we go, and then we're sitting there watching the news, and it finally comes across. It's just the breaking news. Italy's flu epidemic is probably coronavirus because they finally got the first batch of positive cases, and swabs were so few.
Yeah. Right.
So I walk in and I've taken a bottle of Tylenol at this point in the last like 7 days.
Yeah.
And I tell them that and they don't know what Tylenol is. They
don't have that.
No. And I like acetaminophen and they're looking it up because it's toxic. Other countries, we have it, Big Pharma in America, of course, we're going to kill everybody. But, so they don't even know what Tylenol is. So they don't even realize it's a fever reducer. So I am still at 90, I'm still low grade, but not to their standard.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, you didn't travel to China, so we can't give you a swab. And I'm like, oh. So I go in, they're treating me for bilateral pneumonia, bilateral ear infections, pharyngitis, which is like a totally inflamed throat. What else was it? So my lungs, ears, nose, everything was inflamed. And and they were saying at the time, they're like, well, this is not how the virus presents. And I'm like, well, give me a few days. I'm like if you
I believe in me.
Give me.
are you sure you don't want to swab me for this one? They're like, no, we just think that you just got, I'm like, really? Because if I get like, sinusitis, otitis media, pharyngitis, pneumonia, let's talk about this. Anyway, so they're putting me on a heap of, and by the way, and I'm like, so I can't even describe to them what it means to take a bottle of Tylenol because I should just pull my liver out right now, wring it out, stuff it back in.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, he just doesn't appreciate the fact that I would have been probably around a way higher temperature.
Yeah, if you weren't on the reducer.
Yeah, and I'm sure earlier in that day when I felt like I was breathing in asbestos, that I probably was pretty febrile, So he sends me back, and he's like, all right, well, yeah, in 2 days, if you want to get on the plane and take an 8-hour layover at JFK, patient number 1 right here, or patient 0, excuse me. Oh, yeah. So February 2nd.
I cannot believe this happened to you.
I know. So February. Right. So I'm laying in bed taking all my medicine, and all I'm doing is looking out of this. They gave us such a beautiful river view, and I just watched all the boats go back and forth down the Thames River. And I'm like, this is London. The cab driver on the way back was nice enough to take us for a little detour here or there. We took a cab back to Heathrow Airport.
Time to get him coronavirus.
I was going to say.
I know.
Sorry.
Sorry. So, but if you look at like the map, like my little footsteps, like everywhere they had, the UK, Italy, so everywhere. Oh, and then my aunt dies like the last day that we're there. So I go home, see my doctor. My doctor's like, no, you're fine. Go ahead, fly to Florida 2 days later, where I infected my cousins. I mean, it was unbelievable. So not until about a week or so later, they did a CAT scan on my chest because I still was having problems. And she's like, yeah, you've been very, very sick for a long time. And I have a little bit of damage consistent. So I have been diagnosed post-viral syndrome. Wow. So I never got a swab. I never qualified for a swab. But we were so woefully underinformed. And then the doctor has me do the contact tracing in Italy of the first several cases. Holy Hannah. Like the one couple that they finally found, by the time they got to Rome, that's when they were diagnosed. The day that we came in, they got into Parma, we got into Bologna. They ended up in Bologna. We were taking the same trains. And then some other guy ended up in Rimini, which is where we were. And then another guy was in Florence, Italy. We were in his village. Our pension was in his village, and he was infecting everybody. I mean, our pension was right around the corner from the hospital. I didn't even know it was a hospital. It's this beautiful old brick building. But there's a line of people, and they're like laying on the sidewalk. I mean, it looked like unbelievable. I'm like, this looks like out of a movie. So we're walking these little tiny, cobblestone streets, and I'm walking over legs and stuff, and people were literally so deathly ill, laying on the sidewalks with the line wrapped around to get in to see a doctor. Of course we got it.
God.
But they were just saying it was flu, influenza. We didn't know. And so so I got my coronavirus in January. So done, stamped, okay?
Dude.
Yeah. So I damn near got killed to bring Worcester the best fucking ice cream, and you guys better
No,
that's legit. I'm gonna guilt you into you better appreciate it.
That's insane.
So I've known this now for a year. Like Julia and I keep in touch. I know some stuff. I've worked for Julia.
Graphic me up, babe.
Yeah, but one of the very first things, so thanks to Sean over at the Food Hub, connected Julia and I, and we met up over a birch tree. And within 5 minutes, you told me that your ice cream was so fucking good it was going to knock my dick in the dirt. And I went, we're going to be friends. I'm going to be friends with you.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Because none of my clients talk to me that way. And
no.
this is the way I talk, so it felt so welcoming.
That's so good.
So yeah.
I know. That's what I put forward. Is this like a little rough? I told you I was flawed.
Yeah.
I am
Flawed?
I am not going to deny that.
Mispronounced badass bitch.
Okay.
So this is January 2020. You get healthy somewhere around March, April, right? You came back. When did you start opening back up?
Okay, so I come back and I'm trying to negotiate this lease on Water Street because I'm like, okay, here we are.
Right.
We're gonna open up, Polar Park, blah blah blah. Okay, fine. I've got an MBA class in consulting at Clark University. Takes my business to do like their class projects, and I'm getting all sorts of help. Like we're visiting this place, we're analyzing the market, we're doing my business plan, the numbers, and then I just don't hear back from the landlord. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, does he want to rent this place or not? But I was so busy, I wasn't watching the news. There came a point in 2020 where it's like, I can't hear this anymore because this is insane. It wasn't about the virus, but it was just, I couldn't handle the political, I couldn't handle
this
all
was pre-election.
Then I realized, holy crap, it really was, like, it didn't sink into me that there was going to be an actual shutdown. I think I got like the last chicken at BJ's in Auburn. I mean, I'm like, John, I think we should go shopping if they're going to shut things down. And, I'm like, this doesn't look good. And we went shopping and I just like bought, it was so picked over. I bought everything that nobody knew how to cook.
Nice.
So we did pretty good. And of course I've got freezers.
Yeah.
I only had one freezer. But yeah, so yeah, I just like figured it out like very, very much at the last minute. So I'm sure the fact that we didn't follow through with the lease was because the landlord, the company, they had a lot of residential. I mean, people, they saw the writing on the wall. They had to do a lot of preparation because people were going to be in their homes for a long time. So, okay, scratch that off. So all the money I had saved, I was ready to pull the trigger on my SBA loan. We had the business plan, everything. So I'm like, man, I gotta sit 2020 out.
Yeah, but at least you didn't pull the trigger on those things, and then that happened.
Yes,
That would have been very bad.
I feel very fortunate.
Yeah.
There were people who were doing build out at the time. One person had just opened a week before in the Canal District. I mean it's kind of unsurvivable.
Yeah.
You can't recover from that. I don't care how much PPP. I don't care.
Yeah.
So yes, I do consider myself a fortunate one. But then it was killing me because I'm sitting at home. First of all, do you think I want to sit at home? No.
You're a woman of action.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, it's like, should I be helping at the field hospital? My husband's like, if you work at the field hospital, I will divorce you.
Good for you, John.
I mean, it was just, because as I told you, I don't think if I ever get that sick again, I just don't think I'll live. It was that bad, you guys.
I can only imagine.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
And so I was just like torn between, I felt like there had to be like a civic duty, but then do I just protect myself? I mean, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but then I'm just like, if not now, when? Like, when do I, do I sit this doodle-doo, twiddle my thumbs, and I'm not opening my business? But then everybody kept emailing me because they're going to stores, and what is out? The freezer section is completely a blotto, nothing. Can you please make me ice cream? I'm like, I've got a Cuisinart. I've got like this. It takes me 45 minutes to make a quart. Are you kidding me? No, I can't.
Yeah.
So, the Shrewsbury Farmers Market, their market managers were calling me. They started calling me in June. And they're like, we're going to open up. We just decided at the last minute. Can you please be our ice cream vendor? And I'm like, yeah, I got no equipment. I got nothing. And they were calling me 2 and 3 times a day. And I'm like, what part of no?
It's only 2 letters.
So I'm like,
I don't want to say this, but
I'm like, how, like, but the one business that was exploding was ice cream when you were able to go out with masks.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for the right, batch freezer. Like, I'm not finding it. I finally got my hands. I used the money that I had saved up for my last month on security deposit. And I wired the money, got my little tiny, countertop machine with my blast freezer, and I made 100 pints. And I went to the farmer's market on July 8th. and I sold out in 90 minutes.
God.
I need a
so
bigger
insane.
machine. So that's how I eventually found this farm in Dunstable where this farmer he built this barn just to make ice cream, just for ice cream manufacturing. So all those food codes
everything
that
about
just
that.
so everything is safe. He's got the larger machine, whatever. So that is pretty much how my business has been incubated. Is
incredible.
through I did find the farm out in Lee. I did choose specifically this farm because they have a specific breed of cow. It's a Jersey herd versus Holstein cow. And at Penn State, we did taste a difference in the different, composition of different breeds of cow milk. So this is what I wanted. So I pretty much have them make the base. They deliver it to the farm where I make it. So yes, I'm like this nomad ice cream maker. I get my mixes made here in a closed system, totally food safe, delivered to this other farm in Dunstable for Lee to Dunstable. I drive an hour, make my ice cream. Then, we sell it out of Worcester. We have this, cold storage, whatever. And then I'm like delivering ice cream. So it's just like, I got my little Highlander with my thermoelectric coolers and everyone's like, psst, I got the ice cream.
My God.
But I blew up.
Yeah.
The fact that, all of that happened from, January to right now is fucked.
Isn't that fucked?
That's so insane.
Dude, also follow this.
Oh my
At the
God.
Shrewsbury Farmers Market, she couldn't sell it to eat. She had to sell it to go.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
nobody
you
could
can't.
eat it
Nobody
there.
tasted it. They were just like,
So, taste unseen, they are spending, it's a little bit more than what you're going to spend on
Yeah.
ice cream from the supermarket.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
as it should.
But you are
Driving all
buying,
over fucking
and
Central
that's
Mass to
exactly
make
it.
it.
You're buying quality.
right.
That's
Well,
amazing.
Or taste unseen.
So if there's a silver lining to the pandemic, business-wise, it forced me that I had to sell my product without them tasting it, without them seeing it.
Yeah.
How do you do that? So I had to describe to them the careful process, the steps that I was taking to make sure, it is safe as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a lot can go wrong. People think, oh, do you make ice cream at home? I'm like, shh, no. Nobody makes ice cream at home.
No.
If anybody makes ice cream in their home, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
if you make ice cream at home, I applaud
Yeah,
you.
make your
but
own.
then
Ice
eat your
cream
own
maker.
ice cream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is chef inspired, scratch made, yes, all that stuff. But it's not made in my home, not at all. I would get arrested
Yeah.
if I, but I had to let them understand, the composition I'm using. It's a super premium blend. The breed of the cow matters, because it's a sweeter butter fat, it's a higher calcium protein content, it's mouthfeel. And then people who don't even understand what they're eating when they eat good ice cream, I was explaining it to them, and then that sold them. So I really honestly asked myself, did I sell ice cream or did I sell myself?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say yeah. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So
I will say, having had your ice cream, there is something that happens when you have her ice cream versus others that it when it melts on your tongue.
Your dick goes into the dirt.
Yeah,
I know.
it just, this is
know.
the sound.
It's just
It melts on your, and it coats your entire tongue.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
Ben and
it's so
Jerry's
good.
or some of those would feel like they just kind of melt away and
Right. Well, you got air.
Yeah.
They're overrun. Okay. Well, there's a couple of things happening. So overrun is one thing. I don't have a lot of overrun in my ice cream, which could account for, but I am not the most expensive game in town. So yeah. So there's other people who have pints. Someone said, "Oh, I went somewhere and I got a pint and it cost me $14." And I'm like, "Did it come with a blowjob?" I mean, I was just like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Who's selling?" I mean, does he source his dairy? Like what? Like how? No, it's just blah 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 blah. So the point is, I'm trying to keep the costs. Trust me, I look at my food costs all the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it relatively affordable. It is a treat, but I don't have a lot of overrun. I'm not selling you, half a pint of ice cream in a pint.
Yes.
You're getting ice cream, not air.
Yeah.
So I did notice that too, is that I can eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's like it's my job. Like it's
Because
nothing.
you're eating air, honey.
I cannot eat. I
No.
bought pints and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, this gets spared.
Yeah.
But the point is, I've had
It's
people.
just very
it
rich.
is very rich and it's dense. But this is how ice cream is supposed to be. We're not eating just whipped air, guys. Just freeze whipped cream if you're going to do that. You know what I mean?
I fuck real hard with Ben & Jerry's, but that's because it's like $3 at the grocery store.
Right.
Like if I'm going to Shaw's and I'm like, I don't have any ice cream.
You know, and I love the whole Ben & Jerry's straight.
But
honestly,
then
though,
yours is
Unilever now owns it, so there's no thought. A lot has changed with the Ben & Jerry's product over the years, and Unilever is a corporation, and they are worried about the bottom line. So of course, it's going to be, the quality of ingredients are going to be different. It's mass produced. It's actually, if you melted a pint of Ben & Jerry's, how much candy and how much actual ice cream is in it?
Oh, it's a lot of candy.
You're right.
Oh, and now they're doing more and more candy with candy topped and all this other bullshit.
Right,
It's even less and less.
because it displaces the ice cream, so you get less volume of ice cream. And dairy is actually expensive. If you're getting good dairy, it is expensive. I buy the most expensive dairy in the market, Jersey. Okay, so and I chose it that way.
Yeah.
You can't, yes, I can just order from Hood or from someone an ice cream mix that comes from a co-op. I don't know where I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
But Penn State taught us how to inspect your farm. You go, you look at the cows, interact with the cows. I mean, they call it the cow to cone program. We went over in these blue buses, and they showed us milking cows and the babies and everything. It was awesome. But the whole thing is, you go up to the cow. If the cow comes to you, if the cow sees a person, they come to you, then you know that they're treated well. If they see a person and they shy away, they're not being treated well. You never, ever, ever take food from an animal that has been stressed, whether it's meat, milk, eggs, you name it, because the stress hormones does something to that food.
Oh, okay.
So I make sure that whenever I go, I interact with the cows. If they're nice and friendly and happy and whatever, then I know they're being treated really well. I look at the pastures. One part of the herd is out at this pasture. One part of the herd is out at that pasture. Do I even smell manure? And actually at this farm, I hardly smell manure. As soon as the cows go out, they got people cleaning their stalls. You don't...
So you don't want to smell manure.
Well, you can, but there's actually... there's certain smells like... sensory evaluation, we learned.
I bet everybody listening to this is like, wow, we're going to talk about ice cream. And we're like, fucking COVID happened in Italy. Then, guess what?
I can smell the difference of old cow shit versus new cow
I
shit.
know when a cow ate just by sniffing its turds.
No, my point is that if it's overwhelming and it's clear that it hasn't been cleaned, but they won't even let you see the stalls if they're that filthy. They wouldn't even let.
That makes sense.
And cows do contaminate themselves. So if you keep the stalls clean, it just keeps the product clean. Period. So So and then you see the processing plant, and if the processing plant looks like part of the lab at Penn State, they're doing the right thing because they're taking their own cell counts, they're swabbing their own surfaces, they're testing their own product, and then when the state comes in, they'll do their thing, but they know they're going to pass because they've passed their in-house testing. So those are very important things to me.
Sure.
Of making this product, so I'm delivering the best, freshest, most greatest quality of dairy. Because, I'm putting some pretty good ingredients in this. Why would my main component, dairy, why would I just get shitty milk?
Yeah.
Okay, or mix that, is just, generic with, whatever. And then go and I get Sicilian pistachios that I'm just taking it up the ass sideways. I mean, they were expensive before the first of the year. That all of a sudden I order in the first week of January, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I only ordered 3 pounds. Was that 30 pounds? No, the price of Sicilian pistachios, anything from Italy, just went up, and I'm like, oh Jesus, mother.
No.
So, what else am I getting? I got I got my new and improved mocha bean flavor. So I'm using a French Trebly now. So because coffee, if you put coffee in ice cream, the water can make it like crystally. And so I'm using this coffee concentrate, but they do it the right way. They do a good quality coffee, then they evaporate the water out of it. So it's a nice coffee flavor, chocolate espresso beans, a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of brown sugar. It's a delicious flavor. Yes. So I sell so much mocha bean, it's not even funny. No. But yeah, so if I'm putting great ingredients in, why wouldn't I check the main ingredient? Yeah. Like, why wouldn't I be? And I think that's where a lot of ice cream manufacturers, that's the difference. That's what separates me from them.
Sure.
So I am an artisan ice cream maker. I will always be. I'm not going to be a freezer brand ever. Because the minute I am, then my profit margins would be too, thin, and I'm going to have to,
Maybe
something's going to
Do you
happen.
see maybe in like a specialty market, maybe like a 1-off, 2-off? I could see if it was the right market and that you could also
Yeah,
make
some of these little boutique markets, absolutely.
But I agree, Stop and Shop is not for you.
Only recently did we get the licensing for like full manufacturing, where I make the ice cream, and now I've got my new label machine, so I got the proper labels and stuff like that. So until then, I did not have. I was able to make ice cream to sell directly to the consumer.
Yeah.
Now I can sell to a market, to a consumer, right? And I have my recall plan. If someone were to call me up and say, I got your ice cream and either there was a foreign object in it, these things happen, or I got sick or whatever, pay no mind to the 19 beers and the 13 pizzas you had the day before, but yeah, okay, it's my ice cream. But but
You're talking. You looked me in the eye and said that. You're like, oh, 19 beers and 14 pizzas followed by ice cream. That's a Ricky night.
But,
I call that a Ricky.
Yeah, it's just pulling a Ricky.
But seriously, if I get someone calls me and I have to take their information, this is the proper professional way to do it. First of all, just be like, let's talk. Give me the facts about it. If another person were to call, I'm shitting my pants at that point. Yeah. Now I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Now I have UPC symbols. Okay, give me the number on that label. Let me go back. When was that? I can tell you the batch, the date. I can tell all that information, and I have a recall plan. So I would be able to put it out there that if anybody got, let's say it's mocha bean and the lot number is 125 MB, whatever. Please bring it back. For a full refund, whatever. And I'm just I'm the little guy, right?
Yeah.
But companies do this all the time. But artisans don't think about this. But this is what I was trained to do. But now that I can do that, now I can sell to some of these boutique little places. I technically could sell to Whole Foods if I want. However, I don't wish to.
Yeah, no.
I really want that connection with my customers. And I think my customers want the connection with me.
Definitely. I have a lot of experience with like craft beer.
Yeah.
Like
our worlds are not far apart.
No, not at all. And it's funny talking about how like some of the beers when I got into working in craft beer that were like the key players then were then bought by big beer and went to shit real quick.
Yes.
They became very easy to find, but they're not good at all.
No.
And it's filler, and they're changing ingredients and whatever. They paid their $5 billion and that's it. And then you've got these other places that, beer's like crazy, and even people who never have to sell can still make a lot of money. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that you're like saying that you'll never go freezer.
I won't.
I love that.
So I'm on a 20-year plan because I'm gonna have to retire sometime. So if I do sell, and somebody eventually sells to like one of the larger makers, I just don't think that my brand is gonna get that big that I'm gonna be on anybody's radar. I really just want to keep it.
Yeah, but
to
what
a
if
chef
somebody's
made.
like, hey, Tim at Big Ice Cream, all my friends, their dicks are in the dirt from this ice cream.
I love it.
Look into this. And then they're like, oh my God. Like,
Well, then maybe I would just simply tell them, hey guys, if you want to just pry a little bit of cash from your cold, pale hands and get some decent dairy and not put the crap in there and maybe cut back a little bit on the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a little bit.
And just, yeah. And so the one thing you don't find in my ice cream, I don't put mass-produced candy in my ice cream, and I don't cover my ice cream.
Yeah.
I am not a scoop shop right now, and I don't know if I will ever be a scoop shop. Yeah. But the first thing people will ask me, the farmers are, oh, do you have toppings? And I'm like, yeah, that's not me. So even if I did scoop, why would I cover my ice cream? If you get a really good steak, if you put A1 steak sauce, I will bitch slap you.
Ketchup, actually.
Oh, I'll kill you. I will. So, but seriously, like, you know what I mean? You gotta taste your steak first before you start smothering
you have to taste anything.
But if you go to like,
agreed.
Pit Hair Diner and you get like the $5.99 steak and egg special,
You're
that's
definitely
probably
gonna be
the
sick.
Thank you. But they're gonna give it to you covered, smothered, and they don't want you to look at the steak. They don't want you to taste the steak. So they're giving you all this canned gravy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So why would I cover my ice cream?
That's a good point.
Now, I understand people like, a little bit of hot fudge, whatever. I'm not there yet. And I'll think about that, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But there's also, that's out there. If you really want that, it's out there.
Yeah.
This product isn't for you.
Right.
This isn't going to fit that need.
Right.
Yeah.
Pizza. right? I can go get a $6 cheese pizza. It's gonna taste like a dog's ass, but it's cheese pizza.
Like a dog's.
Never tasted a dog's ass.
You guys haven't lived.
That is not ServSafe approved.
Hey, I'm a pet owner and I love. That's all I'm saying. But
This might be the most wild episode we've ever made of this show.
Dude, it's been so long since we've been in person.
It's awesome.
Food safety, dog's ass. All right.
Yeah.
Manure,
Food
coronavirus.
safety.
Oh my
Wipe
God.
your dog's hiney before you start tasting.
I know. If you could just swab it with the 70% alcohol.
I did yell at Sarah a couple weeks back where I'm like, dude, get your feet off the couch. You got your shoes up on the couch. And she goes, we have dogs and they have placed their buttholes on everything. And I'll go, thanks, wife, you're not wrong.
However,
Please get your shoes off the couch.
Yeah, thank you.
This is
You
a
know,
good point.
yeah, there's like a whole bunch of things. I don't know.
So
but, yeah.
you did Shrewsbury's Farmers Market. That moved into setting up shop over at the Sprinkler Factory.
Yeah, so the Sprinkler Factory. So Birgit and Louie, who I've been friends with for a while, they were talking to me even before all this. They're like, oh, when we have events, we like to have, people here, whatever. Anyway, so I was kind of in search of, I kind of needed a home base. And they introduced me to the owner, and the owner was nice enough to bring me in and say, okay, well, kombucha, craft tea kombucha, they do their curbside pickup and sales at the little loading dock right there, and you can join them on Saturdays. And then I got a little mailbox there, so I got so now I'm able to put a Google listing up. This people don't realize small business. It's difficult because if you're just kind of here, there, and wherever I can't find you on Google. Well, I don't really have an address. I don't have hours. I don't have so at least now I've got like a mailbox. I've got the ability to at least be on Google. To just be found somewhere. And then they did something really nice, and they always advertise that electronic sign that you see on the 290 going eastbound. Yeah. And because I was a tenant, now boom, I'm driving. All of a sudden, my husband and I was like, Ark! Oh, my logo's on the,
That's so sick.
I know, and I was just like, oh my God. It was such a great thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that kind of made me feel good. And people
As it should.
will like, Instagram me and be like, I saw your sign today, it made me smile. And I'm like, thanks.
That's so cool.
So that kind of helps. And so I kind of have a place to be, and people can find me. I do want to say it's a hidden gem. People aren't just sauntering down Harlow Street for no good reason.
I've never been there until I saw you,
right.
I don't know, a month ago?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah. So people, if they're coming in, they want kombucha tea. They want ice cream. They're going to the gallery. If I bring in a pop-up, they're coming for cheesecake or bagels or whatever. So we're bringing people in. So I think that in itself as a small business is a pretty good accomplishment to draw people in. They're not just walking down Shrewsbury Street saying, oh, hey, an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So, so it's kind of, it's just a sordid little story, but it's also a pandemic business.
And that sordid little story all explains why you are the 2020 employee.
2021, I guess. Is that what
2021?
Oh, 2021.
Entrepreneur.
Oh, that's a this month thing.
Yeah.
I just got it like Thursday
she
night.
just got this.
Yeah.
So the Worcester City Chamber of Commerce recognized Julia as the Entrepreneur of the Year.
That's so sick. I saw it and we talked about it, but I didn't realize it was right now. I thought
so they gave me the letter. So I never get mail at the Sprinkler Factory. nobody knows I'm there.
I never get mail either.
So I look at it. I just for the hell of it, I just walk by the mailbox. I'm like, oh, I got a letter, and it's from the Chamber of Commerce. I'm like, I paid my dues. I'm like, are they sending me a receipt? And my husband's on his way because we're going to this event, and I open the letter and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm sitting in the car waiting for my husband. He pulls up. I'm bawling. I'm like, ah! And he's like, oh shit. And he's like, and I hand him the letter and he thinks he's like, did you get served a subpoena? What happened?
Yeah.
Right. Too many dicks in the dirt.
I know. So I was just like, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they recognized me. I'm like, I didn't think anybody recognized me, but I'm at 1,000 followers now on Facebook, which is hard to get. It's hard to get.
I know.
Or likes or whatever. And I'm building up my Instagram. It's been hard, especially I'd never Instagram before this business. So I'm just like,
just go crazy.
Right. So and people respond to me just being honest and just, just recording a little 2-minute video being like, all right, this is what's happening today. And just posting. And then, you know, I do try to post nice food pictures and whatever. So it's been going pretty well. And then I thought I was going to take January and February off.
Because it's cold.
Because it's cold. And then Patrick Sargent starts blowing my ass up, and he's like, hey, I'm going to check you out. And then, so this week in Worcester, it mentions me, and then the 016 blog, I think, they pretty much reprint what he prints. And then he sent this guy over from Spectrum News. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. He's like, yeah, I'm going to send a cameraman. I'm like, oh shit, I got to put makeup on, you know? So they do this story. And then like, so the coldest days of the year were like my biggest sales. I'm like, I'm selling more than it was in the summertime. I'm like, and so this farmer's just like, okay, well, you're going to be done for a while, aren't you? And I'm like, no, I'm out of ice cream. He's like, how are you out of ice cream? We just made 500 pints. And I'm like, out. You know? So it just kept going. Then Discover Central Mass put me on their in their spring issue. Edible Worcester, they're going to release the summer issue. I'm in that. So it's just, you know,
everywhere.
So, but yeah, I mean, I finally caught people's attention.
Yeah.
So I told Patrick Sargent, I'm taking Worcester by storm quietly. You know,
it's the best way to do it.
Strategically, but that's the way you do it. You get your set up. You did all the legwork, so that now you can just shine. Yeah. Your product is fantastic, which you know.
Thanks.
And that's people are referring each other. Social media, all that shit. Yeah, you're getting your name out. It's stuff like this.
Word of mouth.
Friends. Yeah. You got to try this ice cream.
This business truly grew on social media.
Yeah.
Because it was the only way nobody can taste it, nobody can see it. So I had to get pictures out there. I had to get my message out there. I had to force myself. I was very uncomfortable. I'm just like, I don't know, what do I put on Instagram? It's so different than Facebook. And I was getting to the point where it's like, man, I want to just delete Facebook. I couldn't take it anymore. And then I realized Instagram is such a better place to be, and I like people so much better on Instagram. and now we're gonna start with the TikToks.
I was just gonna say, can you imagine Julie on TikTok? She's gonna own TikTok.
Hell yeah.
Well, I don't know how good. Well, whatever.
What up, bitches? Have some ice cream.
Yeah, just do whatever. Just do you.
I still have to be careful. But I have a foul mouth. I seriously do.
Be you. There are so many people. I know. I understand.
I know, but I'm hiring these poor girls from Worcester Tech in the hospitality program, and I just like I'll say a word and I'm like, no, Jesus, don't tell me what I said, and they're giggling, you know. And I'm just like, I push. So I've got this mobile cart now, which I'm so happy. You got a
second one.
I got my sticker. Well, yeah. So I got 2 mobile carts now, but I got inspected, and I was like, I'm looking at my permit, and it's like 028, and I'm like, really? That's how many like food trucks and mobile like there's not many of us in Worcester as of right now.
There's only 28.
Yeah, my
wow. Really?
I haven't put it on yet, so I literally like have it.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
I wonder if they're applying for it. They just haven't gotten it. But look at my number.
Yeah. 028.
028.
Wild.
So I'm like the 28th, whatever. So sorry.
There it is.
No, I have all my permits and everything that doesn't leave it. In a big. I am organized. I have a binder of all my inspectional reports, permits.
Yeah, we are in Julia's office where it's nothing but the finest organization. There was a librarian in here before organizing things for us.
True.
That and moving boxes. Yeah. It was kind of new. But no, seriously, it's like I was really. It actually was not as easy as you think to get that. I mean, I had to go to the police department, get a Corey report, get the state hawker's license. Now I got to get the Worcester. Oh my God! And I'm just like,
wait, say that again. You had to get the what?
A state hawker's peddler's license.
Not what I thought you said.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We will.
I thought you said I had to get the state hooker's license. And
I'm like, hell no!
What is that about?
This ice cream is so good.
I know. I think I'm making more than they are. I'm sorry.
Turning them icy tricks.
See, this is what I'm telling you. Like, edit it if I offend anybody. I know.
Well,
my God! I should. That'll be like a flavor, icy tricks.
Please make that a flavor.
Yo, baby, what's up?
Hey, Seltzer Time needs an ice cream. That's all I'm saying.
I hope I don't offend it. I'm just offensive in general. But seriously, so I've got my so I take this poor girl, she's 15 years old, to the Natick Farmers Market with me last Saturday, and my husband had to go to a family wedding. So he's usually helping me with, I got my transit where I got this little ramp, pushes, the cart is 500 pounds without ice cream.
Is it really?
Yeah, and it was like 90 degrees out on Saturday. So afterwards, I'm just like, okay, here it goes. Just like, go back to my football days. We're like, just and I like get this thing up into the van, and I'm just like, holy mother of Lily, can I say fuck? She says yes. I said, holy mother of fuck. And I was like, I'm sitting there breathing, like chest pains and whatever. I'm like, I got the thing in the van myself. I was like, I was gonna call like the pickle guy, be like, dude, help me just bring this thing in the van. But I was okay. I got everything out myself. In and out myself. But these poor girls are just like, I'm like, you're gonna like, please don't tell your mom that I said 3 bad words today. It's like, you're never gonna work for Mrs. Moriconi's again. You know? But they just, they sit there and they giggle and just like, she said, no, she said, blah, blah, blah. So I was trying to get this sign. There's this, you know, the Ford Transit Connect is only just so big. So I get the cart in there, and then I have to put my A-frame sign, flatten it, and like slide it on there. And I need help to do it. And I was struggling with it. And I'm like, I feel like a monkey trying to fuck a football. And I'm like, oh no, I said it in front of the sophomore again.
I'm sorry, where did you get that phrase? A monkey hump? I have not heard that phrase since I used to work in a warehouse. And I worked at this ladder warehouse.
I've never heard it in my
life. And I walk in like with my arms crossed because there was no heat in this ladder warehouse. And the old guy that ran the forklift looked at me and goes,
old.
look at you. You look like a monkey humping a football. You're all hunched over. That's the only other time I've ever heard that phrase.
Nah, it's a firehouse term.
I'm looking it up.
But the bottom line is it's like I'm trying to put the front part of the sign in, the back part, you know, slides, and then you try to get the back part and the front parts, and then you go over to the other side, try to pull it in, and it's like, and it's doink, you know, it's just out, and you just try
the whole thing just explodes back out.
I know, and I'm like, so please grab another end and just help me, and we'll put this in a neat, orderly fashion. I don't know.
So you brought stuff that'll make good floats and stuff that'll just taste well.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, the floats that we're talking about, Julia has come up with a way to make a seltzer float. Holy cannoli.
Whoa. So.
How you like those labels?
They're adorable.
Yeah.
So
almost as adorable
as
as
the
the
part
person
we
who
figured
designed
out
it.
together where she worked with the printer. Now she has this printer where she has her own branded logo, where front. It's fucking primo. It looks so... I haven't seen these in person yet.
Very
Oh, that's right, because you sent me the art, and then...
These look so
Are we
rad.
back on the air?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, I swear anyway. Everybody knows now. Mrs. Moriconi has a foul mouth.
She has a sweet product and a foul mouth.
Yeah.
It's the balance that makes it so good.
Oh, Jersey cows. I thought you like straight up were like getting it delivered from New Jersey.
Okay, then let's talk about that really quick.
I don't know anything.
There's several breeds of cows around here.
That makes sense.
We have Holsteins, those are the black and white cows. Jersey cows are brown. They almost look like they're wearing eyeliner. They have a great personality. Their body processes grass in a way that it makes a little bit more like beta carotene in their milk. It's a sweeter, higher calcium, higher protein. Brown Swiss cows, they make a different composition of milk. It's milk, but you have different, just slightly different fat compositions, protein, whatever. Huh. So, yeah. And then the Jersey cows also have a higher fat composition as well. So it's great to make. So the first thing I want you guys to do, so I think we're going to do like a little bit of a taste testing.
Let's do this. You tell me.
I want you to taste flawed ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was selling.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like a beer tasting. I'm very excited right now.
So for ice cream is supposed to be creamy. It should never be what they call coarse or crunchy because if it melted at one point and then it refroze, it's going to have like little ice crystals in it. So I'm going to let you taste this. So it's delicious strawberry ice cream, but I was selling this for 50% off because I couldn't bear to like, if somebody eats this and they're like, oh my God, I'm crunching on ice crystals. Let me see if I even have, I'm probably being a little bit too...
It's so
good. I know.
It's so subtle.
Oh my God, it's not subtle. I'm crunching on ice. Really?
I mean... All right. Again, I don't have the same background as you to taste. I could taste the ice. I definitely hear it when I chew.
Yeah, you crunch on ice. That's a bad sign. So if you pick up something at the grocery store and you start eating ice cream and you're crunching and it's got nothing crunchy in it, this is strawberry.
Yeah.
All right, that means that it has thawed and refroze. bad news. That's called heat shock. So when you see you at your cart, you're pushing it down, and you see this big pellet of ice cream, and the guy decides, hey, it's time for me to take a break, and he doesn't finish putting it in the freezer, that's what happens.
I swear that's what Breyers does every time I have it. Is that like...
Yeah, If you get
like
so the other thing is that if it's just granulated sugar, and they don't melt the sugar into a syrup, same thing with frostings.
Sure.
If you get a lot of times at a bakery or at a grocery store, you get that. It's almost like shortening. It's just disgusting frosting, but you get that grittiness. That's actually granulated sugar. They haven't melted it, so that's a problem. So anyway,
delicious, but yes, it does have ice crystals.
But these are great with floats because it don't matter. Ice with but this is my regular strawberry, so we're all friends. Go ahead, dip.
I'm so excited right now.
So let me just make sure I'm not eating my words here.
Yeah. You want me to crunch it? I get off the strawberry a
It's
little
a
bit.
strawberry.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe a seed or something.
So I owned up to the fact that
That's so good.
I screwed up a batch of strawberry ice cream and I sold it.
This is delectable.
I literally just went from one to the other, and I generally can't taste the difference.
Oh,
They're both so good.
The flavor, I could...
That one is, yeah, no, you
I
can't
just...
taste
No
it.
ice, but yeah, the flavor's
Okay.
spot on.
So here's my chocolate. This is my award-winning chocolate ice cream. Okay, so chocolate ice cream actually. So I've softened a lot of this stuff for a while. We've been yapping for a bit, but go ahead and taste the regular chocolate ice cream, and then I'm gonna show you what I did with my milk chocolate ice cream.
Milk chocolate ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, and you notice it's like harder, firmer, because I actually use
Oh, my word.
Dutch processed cocoa powder for my. So what cocoa powder will do, it'll kind of bind up some of the moisture in your mix. So it'll be a firmer. It'll also always be harder to scoop. It'll be a firmer ice cream. So you might want to let it sit out for a little.
My
This
mom.
is the chocolate.
So my mom's like of the thinking that whenever she gets ice cream, she's like, "Oh, leave it out." I've never been that person. I'm like, no way.
But some people like the firmness.
She likes it when it, she likes it when
Now
it's
this is my milk chocolate. So this is my chocolate ice cream, and I put
Nibs.
not nibs. This is
Oh.
actually flakes of milk chocolate in here, and it's a good chocolate.
Yeah.
So I don't
Wow.
got like a candy bar thing going on, right?
It's so good. It's like a cold, melted candy bar.
Right.
That's so
And
good.
this milk chocolate,
All of that and be happy.
I had a 9-year-old girl come in, and she says, "Can you make milk chocolate ice cream? How do you say no?" So I'm like, how do I make milk chocolate ice cream? So what I did is I dialed back the cocoa just a little bit, found it's like, it's really good, like French chocolate. I mean, if I'm going to do the milk chocolate, I better get her some good milk chocolate. And now, hands down, milk chocolate sells.
That's insane. That's the best chocolate ice cream I've ever eaten.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, so like when and you notice how you get the pieces on your
I'm
teeth,
still
but they
liking
just
it.
they melt.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you're tasting the chocolate. So it's not like eating a chocolate chip where you're biting into the chocolate chip and you're getting pieces in your teeth.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
I almost taste, on cheap chocolate chips, I could taste coconut. And it's almost as if they rubbed it in coconut oil or something.
So
Oh,
what
really?
happens with chocolate chips? So chocolate chips, if you put chocolate in ice cream and it gets really hard, it'll break your teeth. So you do put coconut oil in it to soften the chocolate. So my black raspberry chocolate chunk does have coconut oil in those chocolate chunks because they're considered soft chunks. Because taste, like get that. There's a chocolate chunk.
I
right
was
there.
going right.
Yeah.
That cover came up, and I was like, there it is.
Here, you dig off on that.
You got it.
So these chocolate chunks, you have to have something to carry the flavor of the. Travis almost passed out.
I love black raspberry. Oh,
It's so
my God,
fucking it's so good.
But yes, the soft, they're called soft chunks because you can't have that amount of chocolate frozen, or else it would be a jawbreaker, and I would have a million dental claims. So we can't do that. I don't know how this is going to go well on a float, so I just want you to taste my new tiramisu. Ooh. So this I'm kind of proud of. Do you see the cocoa?
Look at the, yeah.
Take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Look
Seriously.
at
Look at this, my tiramisu.
Perfect.
So my whole thing was, how do I imitate the dessert tiramisu?
Yeah.
You gotta put cocoa in it. So as it's coming out of the machine, I just put straight up cocoa. Oh, you got Marsala wine in there. You got it all.
Yeah. That's a unique flavor.
I know, but you see how I didn't mix the cocoa in. I kept it. It adds a texture.
Eggnog? Am I getting eggnog?
A little, well, because there's pastry cream in tiramisu.
That's what I'm tasting.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what everything is insane.
So you got coffee, cocoa, Marsala wine, coffee, cocoa, the pastry cream.
My God.
So yeah, so these wouldn't go well in floats, but I wanted you to try these. And then last but not least,
That might actually be the best ice cream.
now that
I've
we're
ever
in,
had my life.
now that we're in, if you guys want to change spoons at any time, tell me no. If you want to cleanse your palate, let me know. Or we're just
We're all
going
double
for it.
shot. We're basically making out here.
So here's
We're licking
pistachio.
doorknobs.
So so this pistachio I do not sell. So pistachio is so expensive. So I was trying to really make a pure pistachio. So you still have the Sicilian pistachios in here. So you're not allergic, right?
Nope.
Okay. So grab that, taste it. This is pure.
Even if I was, I think I'd still just go for it.
So this is,
My word.
so okay, so hang on. So this is pure pistachio paste. So expensive. I can't even sell this because I would lose money. I tried this once, hashed out my food margins, and I'm like, yeah, I can't sell this. But the other reason why I can't sell it, so finish that. This is the pistachio that I do sell. So the pistachio that I do sell, it's got pistachio paste, but I also add a little bit of almonds and a couple of cashews and stuff like that because you have to have different layers of flavor in it.
Okay.
So now that so that was good, right? Okay.
It
now
tastes like almost like I ate a pistachio.
right? Now taste this. And this is the reason why I will not sell that one because everyone's used to this.
That's pistachio ice cream.
That's what we as Americans know as pistachio ice cream. That was delicious, but this
Yeah.
is what my customers
That reminds
know.
me of what's the Italian stuff that they would sell at Christmas time?
Oh,
It's
the
like pistachio.
spumoni.
Spumoni.
Yeah,
This
I made
is-
spumoni. Oh my god, I made spumoni cakes at Christmas. They were sold before I.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, no. In fact, I haven't even made them again because they sell so fast. Like I had to just like, I've been playing catch up on my inventory since Christmas.
I was
Trust me.
insane.
Yeah. So, all right, great. So I'm glad you guys. So
Maybe the
now
best
you know-
day of my life. Like, I'm not even kidding.
All right, so truth time. Like, this is the first time we've been in person, and we've been talking about having Julianne Moriconi on the show for a while. I was holding off until we could do it in person because we've had some other food people, and it sucks. Like, we had Justin on from, oh my God, what's his pancake thing?
Oh, Doughboys.
Yeah, we had Justin from Doughboys on recently, and like, all I
He
wanted to do
doesn't
was eat his food.
I know.
Yeah.
But we couldn't because we were on Zoom. Not today.
We are live.
So now let's go to the floats, bitches. Let's
do
go with.
this.
So what do we got? We've
Wait,
got.
we're obviously not opening seltzers without recording it.
So, your call. We have raspberry pink lemonade or blood orange lemonade.
Blood orange. We're going blood orange with the vanilla. La, 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 la. Okay, so we got. Okay, and we've got these retro scoops.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I mean, I've got two of them. So seriously, like my great grandmother and my grandmother in Chicago use these and they've been passed along in my family. Yeah.
So sick.
So unbelievable. So let's we're going to put the ice cream in first or else we'll have like a little volcano. So we've got vanillas and it's a little on the softer side because I put it in the fridge for like I was gonna put it for like 20 minutes and we started babbling, so they've been in there for like an hour. But they came out of my cold storage, which was 30 degrees below zero. So, and I'm not gonna go too crazy on this because we got a lot to taste yet.
I'm so excited.
A lot to taste yet.
Well, I mean, we've got
Yeah,
lemon.
no, I feel you.
Yeah, and then we
thought
gotta go
about-
with the lemon. Oh,
Ricky asked me if I wanted dinner before this, and I said I don't think so. I'm planning on eating ice cream for dinner.
you want dinner?
I mean, to be fair, I had Burger King.
Well, that's
don't
fine.
eat fast food, and today I was like, I have to eat something.
Okay, this one will be mine because it's got like I think the least amount of ice cream because I'm so fucking sick of ice cream right now.
Are you?
Oh yeah. My husband's like, "Can you bring some ice cream home?" I'm like, "Yeah, but don't make me eat it."
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go. Eeny, meeny, orange, right? Oh, hey.
You got to do it.
Oh!
Look at that.
I love the aroma.
Right?
I just want, anytime I get something with like fizzy, I just want the aroma. So we're just gonna
Yes.
get it nice and
Frothy.
yes. Stop it.
I'm gonna lose it.
Okay, and then it's gonna settle down a little bit, and then we'll put some more in. But we got these like schmancy fancy straws. Good. Orange.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that look cool? I don't have a Mrs. Moriconi's green. Like I don't have my colors.
Purple works.
But I love purple.
All right. Cheers.
Okay, hang on. Let's make sure that we get a little. Hey, hold up. We need a little bit more. Yeah.
Punch in the mic.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Surviving COVID.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Right.
Shut up.
All right. This doesn't suck.
No.
Oh my word.
No, it does not suck.
And what I love about it is it's seltzer, so it's not like a sugary pop, you know?
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, soda, you say around here.
Yeah,
Chicago,
pop.
we say pop.
Pop.
Whatever.
This is like a really mellow orange sickle. Like an
Exactly.
orange cream cone. Or orange cream, whatever.
Oh, man. Hell yes.
It does release a lot of the seltzer's carbonation. Like root beer seems to hold its carbonation a little longer.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just something I'm noticing.
Well, I wonder if it was refrigerated. Refrigeration also holds
fair.
yeah. So if your seltzer is refrigerated, I think that will hold the carbonation some more. But you saw that when I poured it in, it was fizzing quite a bit and taking like the different like the proteins and stuff with it. That foam is actually protein.
Really?
It's like the casein and the whey protein.
Okay.
Not to get too scientific and analytical
But
on
that's
it,
the
but
thing.
Let's
That's
go.
the thing that I find so fucking interesting is that you can talk to us about vulgar, funny things, but then you also know your shit.
I hope so.
And you're not coming off like there are plenty of people that know their shit in this world and they want to know everybody, like they want everybody to know they know their shit and they want to rub everybody's nose in the fact that they know their shit. You make something really high end that's insanely approachable. And it feels like the entire time you and I have been friends, you've just wanted to inform people. Mm-hmm. And you wanted me to understand what things I'm eating, understand the process better. And it's through that understanding that I now have a much better understanding of ice cream. Where before I met you, Ben & Jerry's was the bee's knees to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm ruined. I'm ruined because I now know the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Someone actually, I've had several people email me, be like, my 10-year-old teenage whatever, my son or daughter threw out the ice cream in our freezer. I went shopping and they said, no, we're not going to eat this anymore. Get Mrs. Moriconi's. I was in BJ's. Oh my god,
that's awesome.
I was in BJ's on a Sunday night. And I'm looking for like scallops or something, and you got the Breyers and Haagen-Dazs and whatever. And then this woman says, "Oh, what's his face? Whatever her kid's name was. Says, oh, should we get some ice cream?" And he's like, "No, I want to go get Mrs. Moriconi's." And I'm just like, "Oh, I mean, I was looking like ass that day. Okay, like we slept in, we were up late the night before. I didn't have any makeup on. My hair was just like, I wasn't gonna like." Turn around and be like, get in the middle of it.
Thanks for letting you buy ice cream, kid.
I know. Well, that, or I also didn't want to get like in the middle of like the son and the mom arguing, because she's, I was waiting to hear it's too expensive, and I was going to be like, oh.
Bitch release.
Yeah, so, and I think they came the following weekend. It's like I kind of looked, but I didn't, and I realized it was a missed opportunity. I should have turned around, handed them a business card, and like, please come in, and I'm gonna give you a free pint of ice cream next Saturday. It was a missed opportunity, but I was so scared because that never happened to me before. And my first fear was like, if I turn around and say something, I don't want to be like supporting the kid's argument and get the mom mad at me,
Yeah, but that kid would have been so stoked.
I
that
know.
You were right
In
there.
hindsight, it was wrong. I should have just.
Yeah, but like, how are you supposed to know?
I'm like pointing to my husband at the checkout. I'm like, "That's them. That's them."
They
I'm like,
know
"Let's
me."
get out of here." Like, I hope they don't see my membership card because they'll see the name, And I do believe, like the next weekend, I do believe they came in because the child with his father. I saw a young man come in with his father, and I didn't want to say anything. But again, it was a missed opportunity.
Hey, little boy, I saw you at the grocery store.
Right.
Are you the kid from BJ's? Like, what?
I'm trolling the freezer aisles. Local grocery store.
I'm just trying to find my next client. That's it.
You are my target demographic.
I'm locking them down
so
early.
funny. That's awesome.
Oh my word. Oh my word.
This is the most fun we've had without liquor. I just gotta say.
Right?
Yeah, there's only
Tell me
sugar
about
here.
it.
Well, I did have some cannabis.
So the next thing I think what we should do is the raspberry pink lemonade. Why don't we put lemon ice cream?
Yes,
Oh my God.
please.
Okay. Or should we do like lemon and no? Let's just do lemon, and then we can fart around with the rest of the stuff later.
You're
down
the,
to fart.
You're the scientist. You know everything.
I'm not a scientist, but I learned from the best of them. So
There we go.
Okay, so we got lemon ice cream on board. We are going to be doing the raspberry pink lemonade polar seltzer.
Nice. I probably should have filmed this. Hold on.
Well, you filmed the other one.
I know.
This is all
I
content.
very rarely open a seltzer without.
This is
being
actually
filmed.
a lot of content that isn't his face, which he's pumped about.
It's true.
Okay.
I'm so sick of seeing me.
I love it. Hold on.
The effervescence.
I do. I love the aroma. I mean, good flavoring should have really good aroma because that's part of the whole sensory evaluation.
It's true.
So here we go. Fizzy. Look at that. Fizz, fizz, fizz.
Yes.
Fizzing you up,
Thank
bitches.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ooh. That's interesting.
Feels like a raspberry lime Ricky.
It really kind of does.
Oh my god.
Very cool.
So I know the black raspberry has chocolate chunks in it, but just throw a scoop on there. What
Yeah,
the
go crazy,
hell?
go nuts.
I mean,
Let's
come
do it.
on, you know? There we go. Let's get some of that in there. Get some of this in there.
You'll never hear me say no.
Oh.
Because the black raspberry, yeah. I mean, so eat the chocolate chunks afterwards, okay?
Oh, I'm going.
So when Mrs. Moriconi finally has her shot, which she may or may not have,
No, I will have a shot. I don't know if I will be a scoop shop. So
I
there's
understand.
several different types of ice cream business plans. I am a pastry chef by trade.
Okay.
So my whole idea would be I would love to do a bunch of different ice cream desserts without necessarily being a scoop shop. Because if I just get mobbed with all these people going, you know, I want a sundae, I want this, I want a banana split, or I want cones or whatever, you know, that could overwhelm the brand. And again, everyone's going to ask for toppings, and I don't wish to I don't want to cover my ice cream. But what I do have huge success in is like my stracciatella cakes, where I put down my stracciatella and then my scratch made chocolate cake and then different layers. The spumoni cakes were a big, I made them and then I put it on Instagram and they were like pre-sold within 24 hours. Done at Christmas. Done.
not surprised.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
One
So
of
I
the
would
first
love
things
to
he tried, one of the first things Ricky tried was when you dropped off cheesecake
Yeah.
over at Greater
Very
Good.
good.
Right.
And
right.
I've had your cheesecake. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well,
That was my first day working.
oh my
And you
God,
put
was that
them-
really?
I didn't take them into the back, I don't think. I think somebody else did. They were like, oh, cheese, or maybe, actually, honestly, I think I did. Because I
This
think
is
you
good with
put
the
them on
black
the.
raspberry.
It's so fucking good.
I like it better with the black raspberry.
Yeah, me too.
I think you like handed them to me, and I like didn't know who you were. I'm literally thinking that I was there for like 20 minutes. I had no clue what was
You
going
poor
on.
thing. I overwhelmed you.
And you were like, oh, like I think you were doing a pop up or something like a couple weeks later. Or there was something
yeah, so I
going
wanted
on.
you guys to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I started walking to the back and I was like, they dropped off cheesecakes? And everybody was like, let's go, awesome, spoons. And I was like, oh, okay. Does this happen here all the time? It doesn't. But it was fucking awesome. I was like,
I
this
love
is
JT.
sick. Like,
I love those
Oh,
guys. Oh,
he's
talk about Penn
greatest.
State. Paul is another Penn Stater, so I loved.
Really?
Oh, yes, he is.
Okay.
And we are proud. We are very proud alumni.
yeah.
You know, but what was I gonna say? So yeah, so when I was starting, so 2 years ago is when I incorporated Mrs. Moriconi's Limited, and I didn't have an ice cream batch freezer, so I was making a handmade ice cream called Tortoni, which is just an old school Italian frozen dessert. It's the way they used to make ice cream before they had churning machines, right?
Okay.
And then I wanted to add a little something to it, so having gone through cultured dairy, I was making the cheesecakes I literally made the cheese myself. So I cultured the cream and then I strained it. So I made my own cheese. That's why the cheesecake was so good, because the cheese was like made. The cow was literally milked within the week.
The first time that I can actually say I ate something. What was that? Like probably close to 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago that I just fell in love with. Like, it somehow just got better, and I was like, dude, I ate that a long time ago. That's incredible.
But and eventually,
Wow.
I envision Mrs. Moriconi's Dairy Kitchen, where I can actually make true Mediterranean-style yogurt. My frozen yogurt will actually be from incubated milk, you know. Frozen yogurt that you get, it's reconstituted from a mix. Like, they can make all the health claims they want. Oh, we got probiotic. No, you don't. You've got a powdered mix, you reconstitute it, you put it through a machine. Shut the fuck up. All right? It don't pisses me off. You know, everyone's like, oh, first of all, don't make health claims. You can get into a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Probiotics. Secondly, active life cultures in yogurt, they're not probiotics. Probiotics are active life cultures, but not all active life cultures are probiotics.
It's like tequila and mezcal.
So probiotics have a very specific proprietary number lettering system. They have an identifier. And if you're going to pay the money for a proprietary probiotic, you're going to put that on the label. So if it's just acidophilus, you know, if you go on in like the typical yogurt cultures, they're not necessarily probiotics. In fact, they're not probiotics. But it's going to be like CCGG or whatever it is. Those are probiotics. So someone makes a claim, someone in our area makes a claim that their frozen yogurt has probiotics. And then I call them up and I say, okay, so I'm curious. I was excited. I'm just like, oh my God, you put probiotics in your yogurt. I'm wondering, is there another geek like me who like incubates shit? And I said, so what are they? Oh, and then they start reading me, oh, it's yogurt. So it's probiotics. And I'm like, oh. God. And then I talked to their distributor who's like, oh yeah, well we have, you know, yogurt and probiotics and Taylor distributor. And I gave the guy a lesson and I'm like, unless you can give me the proprietary, you know, identifier that stop saying it's a probiotic. It's not. You're not selling me bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and I never talked to him again. So no, okay, I love salesmen. Oh, Christ. Man, I was just, because they think, Mrs. Moriconi's, they think, oh, it's like some old Italian,
some
like,
sweet, quiet old
and
lady.
I just punch them right in the shins. It's just like, don't fuck with me. Seriously. Like, I've had it up to here with you and your bullshit sales. And then when I finally do order something, something's not delivered correctly, it's delivered shredded, it's not working, whatever. I just want to punch him in the throat, but that's besides the point. That's not very
I believe
friendly.
You told me you were gonna rip someone 3 new assholes at one point because they messed something up. And that's actually what I said. I said that's a lot of extra assholes.
I don't even recall that, but that sure does sound like my mouth.
It's either rip 3 new assholes or I don't remember. It was a great phrasing.
I think I was gonna punch him in the dick until his back teeth fell out.
That was another one. Yeah.
I don't even know how to visualize what that would even
just know that
be.
it sounds painful.
It definitely sounds painful.
No, like some of these people, I have been so ripped off, it's not even funny. I know it's because I'm a woman. And I would put my husband on the phone, but he doesn't know shit about ice cream or any of the technology. So he'd be like, I'm like, oh God, there goes another $20,000 right there.
That would probably be me.
That would be bad. But seriously, the small business owners get taken advantage all the time, and you have to be a good consumer, and you also have to be a good business owner. And you can't let these guys get away with it. And I get aggravated. And then they're just like, well, it's business. What does it matter? And I'm just like, it's my business. Yeah. It matters to me. You know, I bought a $500 piece of equipment, and I bought a $45 attachment. He'll never hear. Okay, so I upgraded my Clover Flex, you know, the handheld thing, so that my employees have something easier to use. Yeah. And I wanted the hard shell carrying case with the auto charger, because I'm like, I'm not going to be somewhere to plug it in. I'm going from farmer's market or whatever. It didn't come. It came. The box came with the regular charger, the Flex, and then he's giving it. I had to fight for this stupid 45. He wanted me to just forget about it. He's like, it's probably in the box somewhere. I'm like, I put everything together. I saved the shipping box and everything. It was 3.8 actual weight, shipping weight. I put it on the scale. I'm showing a picture, 3.77 pounds, Barry. What do you got for me? Well, it really doesn't weigh that much. I'm like, that's 300 of a... really? What? Show me this stealth carrying case that FedEx just shipped for nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I just fight with these people all the time, and I get frustrated.
Well, they also probably aren't prepared to fight with somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Those tactics steamroll lesser business owners. But
I'm sure they do. The only reason they do it is because they can.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because they get away with it.
And they can.
And he's like, oh, I'll pay for it out of my own pocket. I'm like, yeah, I'm buying that. Okay, I was born yesterday. Shut up. Oh,
Yeah.
that's sorry, I should silence my phone.
Oh, that's when he was here.
Is that John asking where you are?
No. Oh, boy. No, he's pretty much telling me that our brand new foxhound puppy went to first obedience class tonight and pretty much took a shit in the element.
Yes.
Apparently, she wasn't too thrilled about obedience class.
You would have sent me to school.
That was my text message.
Welcome home.
Yeah, the dog shat in the element. All right, it's a good thing it was an element because you could just hose that dog. No, we get this little puppy.
Awesome.
You know, she's not a little puppy anymore. She's close to a year, but she's a foxhound. And if you've ever had a foxhound, only people who have had foxhounds know. There's a special bark that they make.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. Oh my life. Gone to
Training.
hell in a handbasket.
All right. We have gone through.
I just slurped.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
I know.
slipped
We went
this
through.
whole
I think
thing.
we had 9 flavors, 7 flavors. I don't remember.
Everything was astounding.
Excellent.
Essentially, what you need to do if you're listening to this and you've made it to this far in the episode, congratulations, you're a hero.
Also, you're welcome.
Get down, find your way to Mrs. Moriconi. It's at Mrs.Moriconi's on Instagram, MrsMoriconi's.com. Where else? I mean, get
Facebook. I'm on
yeah,
Facebook.
get your hands on some
Got
of
to
this
be
stuff.
there.
Yeah. I should start up like a YouTube channel or something, and maybe TikTok. I think is going to be my friend.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We
And
should
I
have been TikToking some of the stuff here.
I know. We talk about this all the time. TikTok's this thing that I love so much. I just can't get good at it. I don't know why.
So I think now that we're together, though, that we can actually meet
Yeah.
back
Do it,
up.
man.
Yeah.
It's going to change the game.
I agree.
Because the solo TikTokers, they talk a lot, and that's not necessarily how I could see my content being created.
Yeah.
But our funny videos that we used to shoot back in
Well, dude, yeah, those would be good. That's a good point. My girlfriend, so my fiance,
my
my fiance has, so like I got her into TikTok
Pretty good.
like last year, like during the pandemic, and she used to make fun of me because I was like, no, like you don't get, like this is the thing, and she was like, I don't care.
I don't care.
She eventually got it because like I think I sent her enough funny videos, and she's like, what is this? So she started watching them, and she didn't like make any at all.
Yeah.
She would just watch TikToks for like hours all the time. We'd both just be cracking up, like walk around the house, like singing little songs. And then she
sucks you
started.
in.
It does. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Then she started making them of the cats.
Oh no.
And one of the ones that she has like 1.4 million
1.5.
views. 1.5
What?
million.
Wait. One of your fiance's videos has 1.5
This one
million.
right here.
Yeah. It's just that. It's just maybe laying on the pellet stove.
That's a pretty awesome video, though. How
Right?
so she knows how to do that stuff.
She like didn't do it. She doesn't do it with the like. I mean, now she's like, oh, this will be a funny TikTok because she knows like what works. But at first, she was just like, oh, this is a cute video of the cat. Like that's it. That's all it was. And then she put that song over it, and it exploded.
Well, yeah, that.
But that's
Well, and
the
then the
second
internet blew
time.
up and-
yeah, the internet happened. The
Yeah,
first
yeah.
time she put the same video on, same song, everything, it got reported. Because kids were like commenting on it, being like, oh my god, your cat's in danger, what are you doing? And she's like, what are they talking about? But she didn't look at her phone for like a couple hours.
Oh, no.
So she opened TikTok and it was like, boom, millions of likes. And she was like, what the fuck? She had like 14,000 views and all this stuff. And she's like, I don't know what
Cat
happened.
is clearly safe.
So fine. So it got reported, they took it down, so she like made a TikTok of the cat, be like, maybe it's fine. Like she loves those cats more than anything. She's like, it's just a pellet stove, like you can put your hand on it. Like I think she did a video of her touching it. Then she put the video back up and it just exploded. Every couple days we'll notice that it like she'll like go on TikTok and be like, oh, I just got 500 new followers. It'll like different parts of the world pick it up.
Apparently, I need a cat video
So
for my
weird.
ice cream.
Oh yeah, cats were.
Or just be you, and you're going to find your own audience.
Yeah, just do your thing. Trust me, it's the more
Well-
you like lean into like your thing, the
Yeah.
you'll see.
We have a
return
buddy that's a
for sure.
stand-up comedian that happens to work as a janitor. Jimmy Cash.
Jimmy. Yes.
And Jimmy Cash has leaned into janitor TikTok.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Killing it.
Do one of you guys post something on him? No, or did I just come across?
I might have
somewhere else?
reposted
We
some
just
of his
had
stuff.
it.
We had him on the podcast.
Oh,
like,
okay,
a month
okay. Because I
ago.
remember.
Because we like, so if he'll post something, if I'm like not doing something and I see it, I'll try to repost it.
Yeah.
Because it's always really funny. It's just probably through there.
It's hilarious. So my the one thing that I did when I was making cheesecake is I would make puppy cups. So I'd make a dog safe version. I've had dogs all my life, and actually I did a brief stint. A department I was working at, we had to be like animal control. So I learned, So I'm very, very compassionate about animals. I might make funny jokes about my puppy and typical puppy pangs, but I love dogs very much. So I actually have had a dog die of a condition called bloat, and it's a very painful, ugly death. So I'm extremely careful what I give to my dogs. When people give dogs ice cream, it makes me cringe because I'm just like, God, I hope they don't get sick, because dogs should not have ice cream. They shouldn't have salt. They shouldn't have sugar. Some dogs truly are lactose intolerant. However, cultured dairy is a whole different product. And if you don't have stabilizers and stuff in it, it's not bad for dogs. So I would make my cheese, I would make the cheese, put in eggs. I would make it like high protein, no sugar, and I would sell these puppy cups. And the puppy cups would sell out long before any of the cheesecake sold.
Really?
I would buy 2 every time. Those are the first 2 things I'd put on my order. She'd be popping up at Redemption Rock, and I'd go down to visit her.
Yeah.
Let me get 2 puppy cups, and then for me,
Yes.
I need...
But
now everything's food grade. So some people that were on keto, they got them. Although the chicken...
Wait, they were eating the puppy cups themselves?
The people on keto, yes. They were...
What?
I know. But so it's not that it's gross, but it's all
kidding.
cooked.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's a really good, smooth...
It's just I don't want
cheese,
chicken-flavored ice cream.
I know. So I'm going to be making a pumpkin banana frozen puppy cup to beg people, please stop giving them my ice cream, because I'm at farmers markets and I'm going to buy one for me and I'm going to buy a vanilla for my dog, and I'm like, oh no, but I can't say, it's like I really, so now when I if I have puppy cups, I'm like, please get this instead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Granted, there are a lot of dogs who do like lick the containers or have some ice cream and they're okay, but you would never want some dog, they get to a certain age and their system turns, or they get that bloat, or the gas, they can't expel the gas, their stomach literally starts to turn and gets necrotic, and it kills them. And it kills me to think that any of my product could possibly contribute to something like that. So I just I'm gonna start doing that soon. And again, it's human grade food. But yeah, that would be my next product coming out.
Nice.
And so cats, dogs. My dog, my little foxhound, will probably be president of Puppy Cup Nation. So I think I will exploit her on this one.
The poster pup.
The poster pup.
Those TikToks are gonna be lit.
Right, she's so funny. She's got this long, they're American foxhounds are very bred for very specific reasons, but she's got this very long nose. She'll be up to her eyebrows licking the bottom. And then she looks at me, blink, 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 like her eyebrows. It's
my God.
A little bit of ice cream, like the licking the bottom of the container. Yeah, or it's hilarious. Or the yogurt container or something. So, but we for the most part we don't give her any human food. We do let her lick a little bit of this.
Sure.
The container, especially yogurt. Yogurt containers is like a dog favorite in America here. Or but yeah, so Susie, the red American foxhound, will probably there probably will be a TikTok video of her enjoying a puppy cup.
We can't wait.
But I will not tell America that she took a shit in our Honda Element the first time she went to obedience class. Golf clap, Susie. Golf clap.
Yeah.
That was great.
Obedience.
I thought she was gonna puke. Because the poor dog, puppies don't have their inner ear developed. I thought she was going to puke, but my husband just sent me that text, and I'm like, great.
That's awesome.
Where can people find you in the next couple weeks?
Okay, so, the next couple weeks. So the first Friday of every month, I'm at My FM in Milford. We they broadcast live in the parking lot. I'm selling ice cream. That's one. You can pre-order or just come on up and buy your ice cream. Saturday mornings, I'm at the Natick Farmers Market from 9 to 1. At the same time, from 12 to 3, I have my lovely employees from the hospitality program of Worcester Tech. They're opening up the sprinkler factory for me, and then I come after the farmer's market and close it up. We have Fridays that aren't the first Friday of the month. Fridays I'm at the Westminster Farmers Market, but come June, Wednesdays I'm at the Shrewsbury Farmers Market, Wednesday afternoons 2:30 to 6:30, and on Sundays I will be doing every other Sturbridge, Hopkinton every other week. So
You are everywhere.
Well, those are great farmers markets.
And there's a reason she's the entrepreneur of the year.
I'm hustling.
You don't get that
a
award
point.
by not hustling.
This is a very
My
good point.
whole goal is that a lot of these communities, people don't necessarily come into Worcester, but if I open a place in Worcester, because I'm still in the infancy stage, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I'm just not like a neonate anymore. I'm now an infant, maybe a toddler. But when I finally do get a place, I want to bring people from other towns. It's not just. I think people might be going to Polar Park, just come in, park, go to Polar Park, and leave.
Yeah.
Give them something to stay for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come in even when there's not a game. Come into Worcester, have something at the restaurants. This is going to be a unique. My whole goal is to offer Worcester a unique dessert experience. Again, if I just do like every other scoop shop, then I'm no special.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I do something like a beautiful dessert cafe with mostly ice cream based desserts or whatever, just let my pastry chef angle shine.
Speaking my language.
Yeah. So and just really concentrate on the ingredients and just I love teaching people, so I want to take people and teach them my craft. I don't believe in the secrets and non-disclosure. No. I'll teach somebody how to make ice cream. I hope we have 10 ice cream shops in Worcester in the next year that pop up.
Sign me up.
Yeah. I mean, we really do have a gaping hole in the ice cream market in Worcester. We don't have great scoop shops to hang out in.
Well, we are becoming the cannabis capital of the Northeast, and I feel like cannabis and ice cream just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Spoon to mouth.
Spoon. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Spoon.
Bowl to bowl!
Oh, shit! Oh, God, that's
All right,
awesome. Bowl
Wow.
to bowl.
All right, people.
All right, you
Wow.
are in charge of that campaign.
I just watched that happen, and that was a beautiful thing to see.
You are in charge of that campaign.
Wow.
I will be your spokesperson, happily.
Yes, bowl to bowl. There you
Wow.
go. Done.
All right,
Done.
people. Well, what we figured this part out.
incredible
You guys
to watch.
will just have to check back in next week because this might be a part 1, part 2 interview for the way that this is rolling.
You never know.
We definitely just
know.
rolled for about an hour and 45 minutes. So.
Wow. See, I told you I talked
awesome.
a lot.
Oh, I knew you talk a lot.
Hell
That's what I love about you.
Hell yes.
But we
But-
had ice cream.
So thank you, Julia, so very much for coming on our show,
Thank you for having
sharing
me.
this delicious stuff with us. Find her at Mrs.Moriconi's on Instagram, MrsMoriconi's.com. Find her on Facebook. Find her on all the good places.
Google.
Find
Google
her on
me up.
TikTok
Google,
soon.
TikTok.
Yeah, I definitely have a Google listing. So,
Snapchat.
Yep. Oh, no,
Do you have a
Snapchat?
Snapchat?
Are you kidding me? No, but I've got 15-year-olds now, so I'm going to have,
There you
do
go.
the Snapchat.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
the
gonna
Snapchat.
Do the Snapchat. Snapchat's making a huge comeback.
I hope so.
Ricky keeps saying
It
this.
is.
kinda
I
cool.
know. I'm telling you, I am obsessively following what's going on with Snapchat right now, and it's very exciting.
But
Yeah.
you can't ask me to do Snapchat. I'll ask my employees to do
yeah,
Snapchat. You know what I
I've,
mean?
I've been saying the same thing about MySpace for years.
Oh, come on!
See you next
that
week, people.
hurts.
Bye.
Wow, that was painful.